Is it working?
Of course the camera is working, Xander.
Hello.
Why don't you do an impersonation?
Do an impersonation? Okay, who shall I do an impersonation of? Damon the Reverend.
Hello, darling. Back all the way from Australia just to see you.
What?
No, not of me.
Oh, Xander! You are looking fat today. Turn the camera off. Stop.
Life, it has been good to me this time around. Things were they were bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact and I can find no ribs. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and eras don't dictate.
Hello and welcome to Xandermonium talk show that gets you talking. I'm Xander Gibb, and on today's show, London Calling with Jeff Kristian, who talks to filmmaker Aro Korol about the Battle of Soho, Xander's Soapbox, and more of your questions in Ask Xander. More to come in a mere moment. So as per usual, you can contact me via social media. On Twitter, you can tweet me. My handle is Xander Gibb, XanderGibb. Wrong teeth in today. Don't forget that all important @ symbol. Make sure you follow and keep up to date with what's going on with the show. And now it's time for Xander's Soapbox.
There is no truth in the rumor that I'm Donald Trump's cousin, but I am related to Bozo, no, not Donald Trump, and Krusty the Clown.
I was a little disappointed in the way the community is so easily divided and how some show the true colors about how they feel when a celebrity is outspoken about their beliefs or how they factor towards gay people. Now, of course, it is imperative to be true to yourself and exercise your freedom of speech, but we should use that platform to be kind. But surely we have to be willing to simply agree to disagree. Now, I am never more surprised when someone uses their platform to take a particular position on any given issue. And what right does anyone but God have to judge you? Now, this week, Manny Pacquiao recently commented that gays were worse than animals, stating, "Have you ever seen male and male or female and female animals together?" Actually, yes, it's well documented in nature, Manny, so go and check your facts. Now, he later apologized for his commentary, and sadly, some speak out to get attention, and instead of trying to make a difference, I do feel that was the case here. Now, some would say he was homophobic, but to be honest, even if you disagree, does it actually change your position in life? Now, freedom of speech operates in these United States, and the price of that free speech is that we will not be guaranteed to like or even agree with individuals and their perspectives, and nor should we have to. Now, we do need to own what we say and be responsible for the backlash that may come from that. And of course, saying that gay people are worse than animals is completely ridiculous, and I wonder why some straight people still actually feel it's an issue. The lunacy is frankly alarming. Why do we care what he says anyway? It's actually a mystery to me, and amazingly, my position has not changed one iota by his. Now, of course it won't, but whilst we have the right to that free speech, some of us have to learn to use it more carefully. Some people take umbrage at anyone who disagrees with their view, no matter how ridiculous it is, and they say their rights have been violated and the person is a hater or a phobe. Have we become so thin-skinned that the positions of people we don't even know get our blood boiling? Get a grip, people, and take a step back. This is not kindergarten, and we won't always agree. Don't allow the opinions of others to affect you so much, because sadly, if you do, they have won. That was this week's Xander's Soapbox. If you'd like to get on your soapbox, you can contact me at xandergibb.com/contact. That's xandergibb.com/contact. It's there at the bottom of the screen. And now it's time for London Calling. This is Phyllis the Purple Hat reporting from Japan on behalf of Xandermonium. Ever heard of the Battle of Soho? Is it like the Battle of Waterloo? No, definitely not. But Jeff Kristian went to check the situation out this week. Let's check it out.
Hello America, London calling.
I'm really pleased to be here with Aro Korol today, and it's unusual for you to be this side of the camera because you're a writer and producer and director.
I never am. You know, I'm always behind the camera.
Always the other side, yes.
Very shy now.
Now, the reason we've asked you here today is because you're making quite an important film at the moment about Soho, called The Battle of Soho. In fact, tell us about this film.
Well, the film is to create awareness about the gentrification, or maybe better word is the sanitization of Soho. And Soho is just set as an example because what is happening in Soho, it epitomizes what is happening to your local pub, to your local neighborhood. Your local pub is changed to a coffee shop. And it's not only in London, it's all over Europe, all over the world. In New York, it's already too late, I think.
Because in New York was where you first noticed this type of thing happening.
Yes, I've been, first time I came to New York in 1985, 1986, I was making a short film in the meatpacking district. What was my, I don't know if anyone remembers what it was then, because it is completely different place now. We've changed for better because it's a good place to go. But I was living in New York in 2005 when CBGB closed, when Roxy closed, and actually since Giuliani was the mayor, gradually was changing New York. And you know, places are gone. 42nd Street is now all owned by Disney.
Really? Talking of which, you have a favourite quote from the New York Times.
Yeah, which is New York, the city that used to never sleep, never early, so awake because everything moved out of Manhattan. I mean, it means the gentrification means Manhattan. I noticed the same thing happen to London. It's a circle, history repeats itself, and it's time to break the circle. I remember coming to London in the beginning of the 90s, 92, 93. It was completely different city. You couldn't eat, you couldn't go to a good restaurant, you could party there.
Did you noticed the gentrification and that kind of individuality, whether it is changing in New York and then in Soho. Have you seen any signs of this in your home country, in Poland?
Well, I left Poland when I was 18 years old. I lived when I was 19, I can't even remember. I'm 42 now, so it was a long time ago. I left Poland, I was living in France. And before I went to France, in the 80s I was always dreaming of Paris. It was Paris. And then the night it became the night I moved to Paris, and I was like, start Paris, I mean, it's so dull and boring. And then I took the train to London. Wow, boy, I loved it. And in 1995 went to New York. I loved New York. It was completely different. And the people you could see there. When I was in NYU studying in 1997, and that was like summer school, and I spent the summer there. And I've been many summers after, and it was never the same summer, never the same people, never the same people were in New York.
The thing about Soho is it's kind of always been its own, I kind of thought of it like a principality, a bit like, Pope has his own country, as it were. And Soho's always felt that way. It feels as though the edges are falling away. Is that how you see it?
Exactly, I used that. And the title of the film is Battle of Soho, but I'm talking about the whole London, and because it epitomized what is happening in the world. So this is just an example. So that's exactly, I feel exactly the same way. Soho is the pearl, the jewel or in the crown, the main one.
That's a good way to put it.
And I said it somewhere, and I want repetitious, that London without Soho won't be London, and Britain without London won't be Britain. So if British people really love Britain, they should really support Soho.
Which is why. So
it's a cultural jewel.
You're making the film.
Can't pronounce the word jewel.
You're making the film to bring this to attention of a wider audience.
Well, it's a theatrical release, and it's a full-length documentary.
What made you decide to make a documentary?
I mean, what triggered the film was three things. Lady Banner posted something about Paris is burning, so I watched Paris is burning, and I've seen that film in the 90s, but I rewatched it again. The second was the Alex Prout article in Telegraph, in which I read the same day, in which he was talking about the closure of Madame Georgia, and I read some more of his stuff, and he wrote very interesting stuff about the problems that the whole nightclub industry has, which is really, he makes some very interesting points. My director assistant was sitting there, had another observation once. He said that people like Madrigal, they've been performing whole life in Soho. When Soho is gone, what's going to happen to them? They're not going to change, they're not going to get a new job in Tesco. Or whatever it opens in Starbucks. What's going to happen to this?
That's it for this week. Back to you in the studio, Xander.
Gentrification shouldn't be allowed, especially not in Soho. So join the battle against gentrification in Soho. See you next week, Jeff.
That was London Calling. Thanks to Jeff Kristian and all of those trying to make a difference over there at the Battle for Soho and filmmaker Aro Korol. London Calling is produced in association with Mr. Binks Media. Make sure you check them out and go and support them. Oh yes, indeed. And now it's time for Ask Xander.
Xander, it's back to you in the studio. Really, I don't know why I bother. He never uses any of my links anyway. I think I should just maybe go and work for a different company. What do you think? Answers on a postcard.
Now the first question this week is from John from Danbury, who writes, who are your musical influences? Struth, where to start? Anything 80s, Ella Fitzgerald, Lady Gaga, Mari Wilson. So nice to not be restricted to just one choice. Thanks for that question, John. Okay, the next question is from Belinda from Newtown, who wants to know if I've ever been to Africa. What an odd question, Belinda. No, never been, but I do have friends in Nigeria, and I plan on visiting them soon. Odabo. So Mike from New Fairfield says, Xander, when will you be doing another album? I bought the Platinum prequel and can't wait to hear something new. Fear not, Mike, I'm going into the studio next month to record some new tracks, and I will be sharing some samples on this very show. So Bettina, who's from Danbury, wants to know if I watch the Grammys and if I'm thinking of giving a loan to Kanye West. No and no. I was busy broadcasting on the radio on X-Rad Daily, my popular radio talk show, Monday to Friday, 8 Eastern. You can listen at xandergibb.com. Shameless little plug there for my little popular radio talk show. Now, Kanye West is an interesting little man whose ego is clearly bigger than his bank balance. Alas, I will not be bailing him out. Let's see if Zuckerberg does, or should I say Zoidberg, as we call him around these parts. So Carrie from Sheffield writes, if you could have 3 people over for dinner, living or dead, who would they be and what would you serve? That's an oldie but a goodie there, Carrie. Now, I have to say Elvis, Adele, and Val Lehman. I would serve spaghetti bolognese with karaoke for dessert. Thanks for your question, Carrie. And I did resist the temptation of saying Yorkshire puddings, you know, with you being from Sheffield in Yorkshire. Oh, do keep up. Okay, Melinda from Bethel asks, how old were you when you learned to play the guitar? I was 12 years old, Melinda, and they didn't offer it at my school, but my teacher taught me in recess, and I was and am now still so grateful. Big shout out to Sue Cornwall. If you're watching, you rock. Alan from New Milford wants to know if Donald Trump's hair is a wig. Oh, please, Alan, don't get me started. And no, Claude, this is not a wig. This is my own hair. I might have bought it, but it is my own. No, not really. It is my own hair. Claude starts all these rumors off. Apparently, I've had a facelift too. Do you think I would have not had it lifted higher if I had? You're a very bad boy, Claude. Yes, you are. You're very bad. Do we have time for one more question? Yeah, he's nodding his head and doing his usual, which is either meaning that he caught a bug, or we have time for one more question. Okay, last question from Debbie from Bridgeport, who asks if I own a hoverboard. The questions are really crazy this week. No way, never. Please. I would never buy a hoverboard. I think it would break with me on it. I really do. Claude, stop talking like that about me, or I'm going to have to fire you and rehire you again. That's it for Xandermonium for another week. As usual, you can send your questions and comments to me at xandergibb.com/contact. There's also a page on there called Ask Xander now, so you can even send them through the Ask Xander section. Oh yes, you can. So make sure you send us your questions, xandergibb.com/contact. Well, as I said, that's it for today. Don't forget to join my mailing list at xandergibb.com and follow us on social media. Thanks to Jeff Kristian, filmmaker Aro Korol, and thanks to Claude. Yes, thanks Claude and everyone who worked on today's show. Most of all, thanks to you for watching. I love you all. Bye-bye. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey, goodbye, goodbye. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey, goodbye.
Trouble don't come